Welcome everyone to the Feeling Good Therapist, where we learn skills and tools that will help you in your personal life or in your therapy practice. And today we have the lovely Sarah Chickering, who will be teaching us a really amazing technique called Worst Best Average, a technique created by Dr. David Burns. Sarah?
Great. Thanks, Richard, for having me. So today I want to share with you this technique called the worst best average technique. And this is a really good tool to use when we struggle with all or nothing thinking, black and white thinking, or when we label ourselves in only one way. So let me share this tool with you. Okay. So, Richard, the first thing we need to do is to choose a negative thought that's usually like a harsh label that you're giving yourself. So, for example, you might struggle with thoughts like, I'm not a very good dad, or I'm not a good therapist. How about choosing a negative thought to start with?
Sure, we can do I'm not a good therapist.
Not a good therapist. Okay. So, instead of using that label for yourself, I want you to think of the opposite of that. So, if I'm not a very good therapist, it would be something like I'm a good enough therapist, or I am a good therapist.
Yeah, that sounds good. We can write a good therapist.
I'm a good therapist. Okay, so we put that positive label here at the top of the sheet. Now, the next step is to list the qualities of what make a good therapist. So, for example, when you think of I'm a good therapist, what's a quality of a good therapist?
Oh, for sure, someone who's like really caring.
Really caring. It's a great quality. Okay, so a good therapist is really caring. What's another quality you think of there?
Along the same lines, maybe someone who's really empathetic and understanding.
Someone who's empathetic and understanding, also really important, I think, and true of a good therapist. How about a third quality?
Kind of like the wanting or willingness to continue learning and expanding on their skills.
Oh, excellent quality. Willingness to continue learning and expanding skills. I think that's so true. Uh, what's another
Do you
quality?
mind if I change that one?
Sure,
I feel like
absolutely.
sometimes there's willingness, but then I don't actually take action. So maybe continuing to learn rather than willingness to learn.
Continuing to learn. Oh, I like that distinction because you want that proactive piece.
Yeah, I
Continue.
definitely want to take action. I feel like I haven't been.
Yeah, yeah, good quality of a good therapist.
Yeah.
Right. What's a fourth quality there?
Um, hmm. Someone who is able to kind of get results and help people feel better.
Someone who gets results and helps them feel better. Yes. I can see why you would choose that. So
Yeah,
as a therapist.
very results driven.
Yes, I like it. Okay, let's shoot for at least one more quality of what you would think of with it being a good therapist.
Mhm. I don't know. Do you have any ideas, Sarah?
Yeah, let's see. When I think of a good therapist, I think of someone who is teachable
Yeah, that's a good one.
and maybe humble to
Yeah,
learn.
so they're kind of like willing to receive new information. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. So we have at least five qualities of what you would term a good therapist. It's great work there. And now what we want to do is go over here to this side of the tool. And I want you to rate yourself on each of these qualities at your very worst times, at your best times, and then on average where you think you land. So at your worst time, you're just having a hard day caring. How would you rate yourself 0 to 100%?
Yeah, I think probably when I'm like super stressed and there's a lot going on in my life, I'm probably not as caring. So maybe like a
Sure.
40.
Sure. So maybe a 40.
Mhm.
Yeah, especially when you're stressed, you have a lot going on. That's
Yeah.
understandable. How about a day when you are really productive, you're not stressed, you're You're knocking it out of the park with your caring. Where would you rate yourself at your best time?
At my best, I'm probably like 100.
100. Great.
Trying to be humble, but I want to put that 100
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Oh, I believe it. No, I believe 100%. What about on average? What do you think, how you would rate yourself about being really caring? What's an average?
I think generally I'm pretty caring, even like sometimes I'm not having the best day, but I'm still, so maybe like 85.
85. Wow, great. Okay, so let's go to this next one and rate yourself again on your really hard days and your best days and on average. What about your empathy and understanding? What's a worst day look like there?
Yeah, I think generally I think it's still pretty good. Sometimes I'm like very in the moment, I forget about what's going on. So maybe like a 70% at my worst.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're so empathic, so I can see that for sure. What about at your best?
Oh gosh, at my best. I still think this one might be 100 where I'm like fully feeling like I get it, I understand, and they're telling me that they understand too.
Yeah. And then what would you say for your average there with empathy and understanding?
Maybe like a 80.
Yeah, okay, let's put it down. Okay, what about this quality of continuing to learn? Where do you land there on a tough moment or tough day?
Yeah, continuing to learn. Yeah, maybe I haven't been doing such a good job with that. Maybe kind of like a 25%.
25. Okay, that one might be tougher. Yeah. What about on a really good day of continuing to learn? Or your best there?
I'd say maybe like 80%.
Percent. And then where would you rate yourself on average with continuing to learn?
Probably like a 40%.
40%. Doing great. All right. What about someone who gets results and helps their clients feel better? Someone who's results driven. Where are you at your worst with that as a therapist?
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I get someone where I'm like, oh, this is so hard and I'm not able to be successful.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not sure how often that happens, but maybe like mm, 80. No, I mean, well, actually, yeah, I feel like I do get results, so maybe an 80.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that one is not as difficult. Okay. So, and then at your best, I imagine it's gonna be higher than that. What would
Oh
you?
yeah. Like when I'm at my best, I'm like really feeling it. They feel good, I feel good, everything is good. So maybe like 100.
Fantastic. Great. Put that down. Okay,
Yeah.
so then on average, where do you think you land with that quality of a good
Uh,
therapist?
no, I feel like I can always improve and do better and maybe help people recover more quickly. So maybe like a still an 80.
An 80. Okay, fantastic. Okay, let's go through this last one. Quality of a good therapist is someone who's teachable, humble to learn, and able to receive new information. Where would you rate yourself on that one, Richard?
Yeah. Maybe at my worst, 50%. Where I'm just like not having it. Like, I'm not taking
Yeah,
any new
yeah,
information.
no more. For sure. What about at your best?
My best, probably like 100% where I'm just like, give me everything I'm learning. Be as critical as possible.
Yes, yeah, you're saying bring on that criticism. Sure. Okay, so then on average, where do you think you are with?
Maybe like a 75. I can always do better with that.
Yeah, I can't do. Okay, so we've gone through these qualities of what a good therapist would look like, and you've rated yourself at your worst, best, and average times. And what I want to do now is show you this skill down below. Maybe we could focus on one specific quality or characteristic that you'd like to improve. Maybe the continuing to learn. I noticed that one's a little bit lower than the others. And maybe some
Yeah.
steps that you could take to improve that.
Yeah, I think that is a perfect one to do. I think I definitely need to increase my average there.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about some steps you might take to make that a little bit stronger. Uh, what could you do to continue to learn? What's a step there?
I think I heard of this like Tuesday group with David Burns
Okay.
or the Wednesday group with Rhonda. Those two sound pretty good. So maybe if I just kind of attend the Tuesday group, yeah, or Wednesday group, or both.
Oh, so maybe attending one of these groups.
Yeah.
Great idea. It's a good step to learn more for sure.
Yeah.
What's another step to improve that, like continuing to learn area?
I've been meaning to like take this one where this teacher and psychologist Jill Levitt has created this like core skills for effective therapy,
Mm,
where it's like a go at your own pace type of training.
okay. So maybe signing up for that training.
Yeah.
Sounds like that might be right up your alley. You can kind of go at your own pace and really learn something. Fan-
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So
Absolutely.
maybe signing up for that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What's another step for continuing to learn that would help?
Maybe just like take more trainings.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think taking more trainings are so helpful. I wonder if you could be a little bit more specific about that goal. What do you mean
I
take more?
know there's a David Burns intensive training coming up where I hear they kind of give you a lot of good information and lets you practice with groups and has a lot of different therapists that will help you. So maybe that will kind of help me kind of improve my continuing
Yeah,
to learn.
that sounds like a wonderful goal to continuing to learn. So it sounds like you've got three specific areas to take some steps that you continue to learn and make that goal more feasible. And I'm wondering how this went for you, Richard. I wonder what you think about this technique and what have you learned?
I kind of notice I'm pretty harsh on myself a lot of times where I do put a lot of emphasis on needing to be better, but really vaguely. And I always think of myself at my worst a lot of times, but actually on average, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And the area that I could use improvement on is in order to like learn more, do more trainings. And now that we have like an action plan, and I love that you asked me to be more specific because it helps me kind of have steps to kind of get my average up a little bit more to continue learning and growing in that area.
Great. I'm so glad that helped.
Well, let's pause right there. Thank you for teaching this awesome technique, Sarah. You did a lovely job. And if anyone wants to learn more about Sarah, feel free to look at the descriptions below. And in this roleplay, we talked about all these trainings, and a big part of it is these are actual trainings that you can do. So feel free to look at the description below for the link if you want to connect more and try one of these trainings on your own. I very much recommend it. And if you just want to subscribe to this channel and just learn more of these techniques here and there, happy to have you join us as well. And I'm looking forward till next time. Bye, everyone.